Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay, great, great, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so good morning once again to everybody and namaskar from Vadodara, cultural city of state of Gujarat. And let me thank Dr. Vimal and his entire team for inviting me for this keynote lecture. I extend my heartiest congratulations to them for organizing such a interesting and relevant conference, Machine Learning for Research and Innovation. The very appropriately name has been given as MaiTri. So my topic of this talk would be AI intervention in impact analysis of IKS and mindfulness for sustainable healthcare. The focus will be more on mental health and mental well-being. So you can see, 2 to 3 pictures here in the title slide. All these are very important pictures that carry certain meaning. Say this is Bharati, about Bharati Gyan Parampara. There is a mandate which is under AICT called as Indian Knowledge Systems. So this is the logo from there, Bhadrayam Sumato Yatem, which means let us strive for wisdom leading to the welfare of all. India believes in Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramya. And India also believes in Vasudev Kutumbakam. So we in India always pray and always wish that everybody be happy and healthy. And whatever research we do under the domain of IKS or any kind of research, I think the main objective of any research is to improve the quality of life, quality of common masses. And in that direction, this Indian knowledge system is very important. It plays significant role. You can see the structure of brain, that depicts the different parts of our brain structure. And the biomedical researchers capture number of signals from the brain, different parts of brain, in order to study the brain functionalities for different purposes, different tasks. There is one more picture, meditating about, and how does meditation play role, I'll explain in my talk. This is my own picture when I was working in IIIT Bangalore. We were doing, some amount of research with Nimhans Bangalore. We were visiting Nimhans Bangalore. There is one university in Bangalore called as S. Vyasa Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan Sansthan. It's a dedicated yoga university spread in 109 acre. And then we also had collaboration with one doctor who was working with the meditation from Mysuru. So the talk will be mostly, based on the importance of IKS. How does IKS play role in NEP 2020? Because whenever you attend some program by the government or anybody on NEP 2020, everybody emphasizes on IKS. And I can tell you one of the domain IKS, one of the domain of IKS, we were working and I'm still trying to continue. That is very important. And with that, I have understanding that IKS is just great. How can we exploit the potential of traditional India and ancient India that can help us, that can help rather India to become knowledge economy. Everybody is envisioning India to be third largest economy, but I'm talking about knowledge economy. So India can really become Vishwaguru by practicing IKS and other ancient practices of India. But what is important, if you talk theoretically in this area, nobody will take interest. And we people who are talking about machine intelligence, artificial intelligence, they can apply certain AI intervention and make the research very much interesting. So that is the topic all about. So I do not have any specific outline because yesterday also I was busy. I messaged Dr. Vimal that I would try definitely to talk. So it's not very much structured, but I have tried to include whatever I want to convey. So let us begin with one important motivation. When Swami Vivekananda was there in USA, he delivered a historical speech in 1893 in USA in Chicago, where he addressed the gathering with sisters and brothers of America. There he used to emphasize on India is very rich. India has potential in traditional knowledge, spirituality, and other holistic practices. And he used to say that time that West is very good in science and technology. We are good in traditional knowledge like yoga, meditations. Let us combine them, and then India can become either spiritual and Vishwaguru. So he used to see the dream of India to become, to be Vishwaguru. And talking about the rich Indian knowledge systems, consciousness practices such as yoga, meditation, and so on. So he used to especially call upon the youth to bring the technological knowledge and integrate with IKS based values to make India as Vishwaguru. Remember, in 1893, he used to, address the young minds, youth like this. And see now, how yoga has been accepted throughout the world. And I have some data with me that how much it is contributing in the business also, that is yoga and meditation, that I've included in my slide. So Swami Vivekananda was great visionary. That time he could envision that this is going to play a huge and significant role. Of course, bringing the technological knowledge, and therefore I have included AI intervention. So the AI technology interventions are combined, integrated with IKS. It can create great impact on leading the quality and holistic life. As I mentioned in the beginning, that the ultimate aim of everybody, in my opinion, is to improve quality of life of an individual. Everybody. You are doing a lot of things, we are doing a lot of things to secure the nation, to secure the thing, but ultimate objective is to improve the quality of an individual, so that an individual, everybody can lead a quality life. And that emphasis has been made in our NEP 2020, a great national education policy 2020 that came after 1986. And as I've already mentioned, that India believes in its great culture, great universal values, talking about Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramya, Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kasyat Dukh Bhav. So this motivates us that for the happiness, for making everybody healthy, let us work on preventive healthcare, let us work on sustainable healthcare. And for that, these mindful practices, kind yoga, meditation, and other practices are of huge and immense importance. So if you quickly see the NEP 2020 key features, it talks about giving equitable access to education for all, reaching out to the rural area through Digital India. Everybody can have access to education, multidisciplinary holistic education, integrating IKS. Everybody knows nowadays who are in education that government is emphasizing on there should be 5% of courses from IKS. But mostly everybody admits also, mostly people are trying to integrate as some theoretical courses just to meet the requirement. But there is huge potential beyond meeting the requirement, and that I'll try to explain that how it is possible by scientific research in the area of IKS. There is focus on skill development and employability. Enhancement of research and innovation is a central point. Flexibility in learning, and IKS, I can tell you, can provide a tremendous amount of flexibility in terms of learning. It can greatly help in improving the student learning outcomes. And then globalization of Indian education. Internationalization is a common thing which is being talked about, being emphasized in NEP 2020. And see one interesting table. Gross enrollment ratio currently is around 27.3%. And the projection by 2035 is 50%. Occasional education from 10 to 100%. And it is aiming to gap the gaps in skill, because what is important for us is the skill set. You can deliver appropriate knowledge, but until and unless proper appropriate skill set is there, students will not become employable. The biggest strength of India is 65% of population is under 35. That is our biggest strength. And the whole world is, eyeing on us because of our youth strength. R&D spending is projected to be 1.5%. International students, do you know that currently it is around 50,000 in India? I mean, we are looked as market only by the world, but let us bring other students in India, and the projection by 2035 is only 200,000. So I can tell you IKS has a tremendous potential. IKS based has a tremendous potential to bring a lot of foreign students, a lot of international students. Just think about Nalanda and other universities in our ancient India. How many students from Southeast Asia were coming and studying? can't we bring back that glory? Can't we bring back that ancient glory to India? The answer is big yes. By artificial intelligence, we can easily bring that glory. So IKS integration currently is around 30%, but the aim is, the goal is to reach to 100%. Let us quickly talk about Indian knowledge system. Indian knowledge system, as I mentioned in the beginning, there is a division under AICT, Ministry of Education, iksindia.org. Currently, Professor Ganti Murthy of IIT Indore is heading that department. They are trying to support the universities and institutes through education, through technology, through research funding and other mentoring, support. They're trying to develop the IKS centers throughout the India. And the objective of this IKS is to promote interdisciplinary research for research and societal applications. It has to directly deal with society. That is very important. To spread the rich heritage of traditional knowledge in the field of art, literature, agriculture, basic sciences, manufacturing, metallurgy, engineering, architecture, economics, history, etc., etc. So it doesn't only cover the medicine or medicine, traditional plant or medicinal plants, but it covers a lot of other domains like consciousness studies, astronomy, ancient structures, mathematics, physics, chemistry, rasayan science. All those domains are covered under Indian knowledge system. Like you can see in this interesting slide, the health and wellness is a very important domain under IKS. Science and technology is a domain. Philosophy and arts is an important domain. So, sustainable healthcare deals with health and wellness. That includes meditation, Ayurveda practices, yoga, traditional medicine system for preventive care, and mental well-being. Uh, Science and technology, astronomy, mathematics, metallurgy, sustainable. I can tell you, we have one Ayurveda university in Gujarat, perhaps in Jamnagar. There I know one professor who is doing great research in Ayurveda, and I can tell you, he'll just mesmerize the audience that how the research in Ayurveda can help in contributing in preventive healthcare, especially to reach out to the rural areas, rural masses, to make them happy, to make them healthy. So it has tremendous potential. Philosophy and arts, philosophy, literature, performing arts, architecture, highlighting harmony, aesthetics. Think about those days architectures, still beauty remains, still strength remains. What was the concept, what was the architecture, what was the philosophy, what was the technology, what was the methodology, what was the approach. It's very important to learn those things. And then we have what is called as AI integration, what is called as technology based intervention that can greatly help in implementing those things to make India a knowledge economy, a knowledge hub for the entire world. As far as my domain is concerned, it directly deals with third sustainable development goal of 17 sustainable development goals, which is related to good health and well-being. So, in my title, mindfulness is also there. So, what is mindfulness? Practice of being fully present. Just be present, enjoy the present, think about the present, acknowledging the thoughts and feelings without judgment. Don't be judgmental, just observe your thoughts and just be in present, engage in present. That is called as mindfulness. It may be practice through a number of meditation techniques, vipassana, isasana, and different kinds of meditation techniques. It can be practiced through just be calm, just be silent, doing nothing. It can be practiced by doing some activity, so engrossed, so engaged, so absorbed. What is important is engage in the present moment. It may be either an activity or maybe a silence. Some mindfulness practices include meditation, like focused attention. You have like called as pranayama and other practices which we do in India, yoga, mindfulness, breathing, and people talk about even while eating and listening, while having conversation, you can have mindfulness breathing, and actually it greatly helps. I have practically experienced when we were working with EEG signal in IIIT Bangalore. Regular practice can lead to reduced stress. It greatly helps in reducing the stress, anxiety, enhanced focus and concentration, better sleep quality. Sleep quality is the biggest challenge everybody is facing these days, in the modern time. Increased self-awareness, self-acceptance, enhanced overall mental well-being. I think at this, I take this opportunity to call upon the people who are working in KIIT University. It's a good university, great university, full of resources. I think this university can play a significant role in this particular area, especially doing research in mindfulness. So, what is relevance? I have next part of my presentation will be technical, scientific, how scientifically we can study. But I'm just trying to highlight the overview and importance. That is also very important. Why the researchers should take this topic as a research topic. So, is there any relevance of IKS in 21st century? The answer is big yes. There are number of areas, 2 to 3 areas I have included here, like healthcare and wellness. Can you see one important statistics here? Yoga practiced by over 300 million people globally. 300 million people globally. Now the number has increased. It contributes to India's wellness tourism sector. People are coming for tourism sector because of these things also in Kerala and other parts of the country. Ayurveda and yoga currently are $10 billion global industry, and there is a projection that also is there. Global relevance and competitiveness, India's wellness tourism market projected to grow by 20% annually due to global interest in yoga and Ayurveda. So you can understand it's not just theory, it's something which you have to demonstrate scientifically. You have to attract the young masses, the youth, the young guys. I can tell you, you also experience the same thing. They are undergoing a kind of mental stress and mental difficulties, and there this is of immense importance. Addressing global challenges through indigenous practices, Ayurveda based practices for preventive healthcare that can contribute to India's currently actually $20 billion wellness economy. Revitalizing India's identity as a Vishwa Guru, the world leader, world guru. Yoga Day, as you all know, is observed every year, on 21st of June in more than 180 countries. That reinforces our identity as a leader in sustainable living and holistic practices. For everything, I have included the references. Now, since this conference is on machine intelligence for research and innovation, so let's talk something which is related to machine intelligence, which is the application of machine intelligence. Currently, my last scholar, PhD scholar, was awarded last month in IIT Kharagpur. That lady came from Myanmar and I was co-supervisor. But then, currently I'm not very much active in research, though I'm, supervising and mentoring people here and there, not only in India, but outside as well, but not very much, active in implementing these machine learning techniques by my own because of, the role as a vice chancellor. But whatever we did, whatever, we could implement and that resulted having potential in mindfulness research that I'm going to explain in next part of the presentations. So I believe that those who are having exposure to brain signals, they understand what is EEG signal, electroencephalogram signals, which are nothing but electrical impulses, which are resulted by the brain when it is subjected to some stimuli or some activities. So those brain activities are recorded as EEG signal. There are different brain modalities like functional MRI, PET, CT, and all that. But I'm talking about EEG because EEG is very common signal. And it is non-invasive. You do not need to insert any needle. You do not need to do any surgery. So it's very commonly and easily implemented or used modality of brain signal. So whenever you capture a brain signal, which is a small electrical signal, it's a composite signal. And when you composite that signal, when you decompose that signal, you get different components called as delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. You can see gamma is having highest frequency, whereas delta is having lowest frequency. Those who have understanding about signal processing, they know that more is the frequency, more is the energy. So highest energy is there in the gamma. So whenever we are in, it's written actually, gamma high level cognitive tasks. If you are performing, then gamma signal can be observed, gamma energy can be observed. During sleep and relaxation, you can observe delta having very low frequency. During drowsiness and meditations, you can observe theta, that is ranging from 4 to 8 hertz. So this is description about EEG signal. This diagram tells you about the different parts of the brain: frontal, parietal, occipital, and each part has its own functionality. For example, occipital lobe has some signals, and with the help of channels, EEG, a device that you wear over it, is a cap-like structure. So from those channels which are placed inside occipital area, you get the signal, and mainly these signals are used for vision related application. Suppose your mind is in mind wandering stage, you're not able to pay attention, you are imagining something about, you are here but your mind is in Singapore. That time, this is the area that helps us to study about the brain, related to mind wandering, related to focused attention, related to how much attention you are paying. That can be studied here. Critical thinking, problem solving, all those abilities are studied by frontal lobe. So you can get different signals from different channels of this part, and you can study. And whenever you do meditation or any other practice, your signal changes, and that is the diagram that you can see. I can tell you, we did some experiment. We did some 7 minutes of pranayama for 17 persons. I think 7 minutes, 17 persons. And I can tell you, from this occipital area, the gamma energy was, it changed significantly, indicating that 7 minute of meditation, pranayama meditation, was able to control the mind wandering. And see, this meditation or this practice, if you do only once in a day or only one day, is not adequate, but it changes the brain signal. But if you do it for 1 month, 1 year, many years, I can tell you it leaves the permanent impression. And therefore it has a strength, it has a potential, it has all the possibility to cure the person from mental disorders and mental disabilities. We did one work, that what is very important problem in the area of brain signal processing, that there are a number of channels in different parts. So which channel is most appropriate channel for studying something? We also did some simulation, did some work with some research fellows when I was working in my previous organization. We found that, and we did it for 8 channel device, 16 channel device, and 32 channel device. For example, for 8 channel device, these are the channels. From these channels, if you bring the signal, you can study about motivation, personality, problem solving, judgment, decision making. For example, channel F7 and F8 are used for speech production. Similarly, if you want to study about eye movements, F3 and F4, FZ is a central part of your brain. Similarly, if you are interested to study about computation power, these are the channels. So we did this kind of work in all different parts of the brain, like in occipital, O1 and O2. They were used to detect, process, and analyze, to interpret, memorize, and visualization of visual stimuli. Whenever you think about some other place, you are here and thinking about Singapore, your visual, ability is involved, your visual activity is involved, and therefore in that case your gamma energy will be higher. So the channels were O1 and O2 for sensory integration and spatial awareness. So that was one study. This was published also. This paper was presented, I think, perhaps by my research fellow that time working as a Ilan Anta, who is currently master student in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. This work was presented in perhaps IIT Mandi in the IKS conference. So you see the title, Optimized Channel Estimation for Efficient Impact Study of Mindfulness. Because what happens...
Excuse me, sir. I think we cannot see the your slides anything.
Okay. For how much time? Because from here it is changing.
Excuse me, sir. I think, ma'am, it is visible. I think we all can see.
Okay,
Please
okay. Let
check.
me.
I think
Yes.
somebody having
Okay.
problem might have problem of bandwidth. Here I'm able to see it's changing actually.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this paper was very interesting. What happens that those who work with signal processing, AI and ML, they understand when you increase more and more number of channels, you will get more and more amount of data. You can have an argument that if you involve more and more amount of data, more appropriate findings will come. but the time complexity will be very high. So in order to address this difficulty, we did optimize the number of channels which are relevant for particular study. For mindfulness study, what is the appropriate channel? So that kind of work was done by the student who came from Sivnad University as a research fellow. It was not research fellow, it was summer internship there, that is offered by IIIT Bangalore every summer, and her work was presented there. It got published, and then there is another work. It was published in Applied Soft Computing with Kapil Gupta, currently, who is working in Dehradun, and other people were from. One is from Nimhans, Bangalore. Other is from S. Vyasa, Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan Sansthan. So this was basically an HRV data. HRV is a little different data, where it's not ECG, but it's different. But that also helps to study the mindfulness, but it is completely different. There is a method of meditation called as heartfulness. There is a big center in Hyderabad called as Kanha, and there it's being practiced now. Its center is in all across India. So it basically deals with heart signal, and this paper was related to that, but it was studied during yoga and normal breathing practices. So what I'm trying to say that you are organizing this conference, and those who are attending, and they are working in different application areas of AI and ML. My suggestion is let's start working in these areas also, because it directly deals with the common masses, and it directly deals with our healthcare system. Because otherwise we depend on all kinds of medicines, get a survey, everybody has either diabetes or blood pressure. So can it be cured? I have a practical examples with me, but due to time limit I won't be able to explain. I have witnessed myself, my HbA1c was 11.9. When diagnosed, I brought it to 6.9. The major role played was not medicine, but major role played was the yoga and meditation that I was doing when I was in Myanmar on deputation. So for this work, you require collaboration. These pictures are from my previous collaborations. One picture is from Nimans, Bangalore, and the other picture is from S. Vyasa, Bangalore. We had collaboration with Heartfulness, Bangalore, which is in Kanakpura area in Bangalore, and the Purnima Hospital, Mysuru. We started doing very interesting work. We could not continue, and that lady who is Dr. Purnima there is working on a very interesting topic, and studying the impact of heartfulness meditation, called as study of female infertility in young ladies. And the results are very interesting. Due to time limit, I will not explain that. So generally, AI-driven research is required in this particular area also, where you capture some particular modality and it is subjected to all typical data processing, feature extraction, modality fusion. You can combine two modalities. It is subjected to certain modeling. You can use suitable model, and then all kinds of brain related disorders, disabilities, autism, bipolar disorder, stress disorder, suicidal attack, all these disorders and disabilities you can study. There are papers on Parkinson, there are papers on Alzheimer. So these mindfulness practices are playing very important role in addressing those difficulties. There is a big challenge, and the challenge is you have very limited data set in this area. So the interesting research opportunity is to develop a data set for this research would be a big research contribution in this area. Right? I know few people, few organizations who are working and creating the data set. So what is generally the approach? I think the time which has been given to me is 10:45. So I'll try to complete in next 10 minutes, so that the last 5 minutes, can have some questions from the audience. So generally the approach is ethical clearance. All these are, the important processes. You need to have ethical clearance. There has to be protocol, how a person to, will see it in which posture, how much time you have to record the signal, what will be the methodology of selecting the subject means persons who will be undergoing the meditation, yoga, and all that. So all these are very important. We have developed our own protocol. We have understanding about ethical clearance. I would be glad if somebody is interested and to do some research, to establish some research center. I'd be really glad to, I would not say mentor, because I still believe that I'm an ordinary teacher. So I'd be happy to associate with someone who is having some facility and contributing in this area. Collection of data sets, and then you analyze the data. And what is important after analyzing the data, just use the models, classify whether these are the practitioners of meditation, these are non-practitioners. Those who were practitioners, what is the impact, whether the stress has been reduced, whether the sleep quality has been improved. There is a dream lab in Nimhans, Bangalore, National Institute of Mental Health Sciences. There is a sleep lab in SVyasa. So those who can visit in these universities, SVyasa, Nimhans, Bangalore, please visit. Those who want to do research in this area, they are studying about dream, quasi status of the dream, and different status of the dream they are studying. And they're trying to study the impact of meditation, that how can you improve the sleep quality and all that. So AI plays important role. We had one work on study of impact of yoga on mental well-being, consciousness, stress and sleep quality. We followed this method. EEG was subjected to decomposition algorithm. You can use any wavelet and other based method to decompose the signal, because all the bands of EEG signal, alpha, beta, gamma, theta, delta, you cannot use. You are studying about sleep, why to consider gamma in alpha component? You are studying about reading comprehension, why to consider delta component? Therefore, decompose the method, the signal, and choose the correct bands, and then use feature extraction or use any classifier, use any CNN or method, and then subject it to it. See, what is the problem? That if you go for deep learning or CNN based method, that EEG features, when you extract the features, those features are, that a 1D kind of signal. So there are transformation methods by which you can convert 1D into 2D when you are interested to subject to deep learning or CNN based model. Otherwise, there are classifiers where you can directly subject your EEG signal and classify. We did one impact study of meditation practices using power spectral density. You know that in signal processing of EEG signal and biomedical signal, power spectral density plays important role. So we did calculate power spectral density. We classify. There are different types of meditation techniques like Vipassana, Isasunya, and Himalayan. I think the data set that we took is from Rishikesh Meditation Institute, and that resulted, I can tell you, there are two interesting papers which are available. That data set was researched by American researchers. Two papers you can find, but we did a different kind of approach. We studied, how these different meditation practices impact differently. Where is, more alpha power, where is less alpha power when we are practicing these meditation techniques. So I'm just trying to highlight that there is potential, and the theme of the conference can do wonder in this area. There was another work, multi-resolution analysis of EEG for detection of mind wandering during meditation. So there was a complete parameter like, TQWT and other approaches which were used using EEG signal. The entire signal was segmented into, different parts, because if you take 1 minute or 2 minute signal, the processing time would be very high. So what was found in this, increased attention was found, increased cognitive flexibility was found, and then reduced reactivity to external stimuli is found. And this is a picture that indicates that clearly the difference can be seen in power spectral density, map, and different subbands. We found, accuracy of 87%, sensitivity of this much, a specificity of 87% using SB8, that is the 8th band. But these are the mathematical descriptions related to this particular work. What I'm trying to highlight is, when you capture the EEG signal, record it while meditating, doing yoga, and classify it using suitable features and model, you will find very much, in terms of power spectral density, mean value, average value, energy value, whatever suitable parameters you can use. And then you can very easily see the difference between the two categories, those who are practicing meditation and those who are not. Challenges are there. Now I'm coming to end almost, as I promised that by 40 I'll complete. So there are challenges. The biggest challenge is collaboration. If you go, to collaborate, but these days I can say IIT Mandi, IIT Kharagpur, perhaps IIT BHU and IIT Delhi, they have started working in these areas very closely. So you can reach out to them. IIT Bhubaneswar also has started perhaps in this particular area where you can reach. But Nimhans Bangalore is doing very good. in this mindfulness, yoga, and other kinds of mindfulness practices for the mental well-being and mental health. SWAS of Bangalore is doing great work. They have brilliant facilities, research laboratories. Nothing theory. It's not only computer. They just take a data and then use a model and classify. They have all kinds of lab of data acquisition while sleep, while dream. They are capturing the signal and analyzing. They have research scholars. So the bigger challenge is to collaborate, the collaboration and collecting the data set, having our own data set. Limitations of EEG technologies, variability in individual responses. The same meditation, same timing, but different individuals, respond little differently. That is also a challenge. So normalization is needed. Appropriate method selection plays important role. Need for large sample size is always required whenever there is a large sample size. See, you get 30 persons doing meditation for 3 months. You want to do research, but those 30 persons need to be consistent. How will you impress those 30 persons? How to encourage them come here and do meditation, and we want to do research? Very difficult. They have signed all ethical clearance and other consent form and all that, but still how to motivate them is a bigger challenge. If you want to, if you're planning to capture your own data. Opportunities for further research in EEG, exploring long-term effect of regular practices. There is an opportunity also. Integration of EEG with other neuroimaging techniques is possible. And AI in personalized mindfulness practices can also be studied. There are tools, there are apps which are coming. With those apps, people are studying about how stress is reduced, how other parameters are reduced. I can tell you, if somebody is very excited to do research, there is very limited research on quantifying the stress. You can detect the stress, but you cannot determine the quantity of stress, how much quantity of stress is getting reduced by certain meditation. Of course, in terms of phd and energy you can quantify, but exact quantification is still a research problem. So concluding remarks, the role of AI is playing important role in healthcare, especially the Sustainable Development Goal 3. Mindfulness practices, they have scope, potential for improved quality of life. Mental well-being and mental health is even more important than other physical health. Signal processing and psychometric data analysis through AI intervention can lead to awareness. And then let's embrace mindfulness for better mental health. Here there is one term, you might be inquiring about psychometric. Psychometric is, say, in a Kanha heartfulness practice they do in Hyderabad. 10,000 people, at the same time do the meditation. And what do they do? Before meditation, after meditation, they'll give them questions. They'll feel those questions. How are you feeling? How is your better, quality of life after 10 days of meditation? They'll record, they'll collect all those data subject to some modeling, and they'll classify. But it's psychometric. The person is responding, because I may not correctly respond. Yeah, I'm feeling better, my quality of sleep is good, something like that. But that is psychometric. But scientifically your brain doesn't tell lies. So you can capture signals from brain, and then that can be analyzed. So let me conclude by this very innovative and motivating equation for me, with which I always conclude my talk. E is excellence, M is motivation, and C is commitment. So you can see here, more is the commitment, better will be enhanced, will be the excellence. So let's be committed for observing, practicing, implementing, promoting and encouraging the mindfulness practices, and let there be excellence in the better quality of life. Let there be excellence in better improved quality of life. Let there be excellence in improved quality of mental health and mental well-being. With this note, I thank you, the organizing team, Dr. Vimal and his entire team. I express my gratitude and thanks again to Samantha ji, who is doing great work, and the university. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Uh,
sir, for this in wonderful talk. Now the session is open for few questions, because we can take only few questions. Sir needs to go to attend some other meetings, so we can have few questions, please.
okay, good morning, sir. This is Rashmita Lenka from School of Electronics, KIIT Department.
Good morning. Namaskar.
Uh, uh, this session was very nice, and frankly speaking, I started working in this I have taken 3 my students and doing meditation, after that capturing the data. But
Great, great.
one thing, that points what you told for which F1 will use, for which one for this, that things I don't know. So again we got that how to create a database, because I was talking with professor from IIT Patna. He told that we will not get the real time database because here data is very less. So that's
But
why
my
first I'm
suggestion
taking.
is, Professor Rasmita, if you have facility, it's very, very simple and easy way to develop the data set.
Yes sir,
I can
EEG
help
machine
you.
is there
Hmm.
in our lab. Sensing and computing EEG machine is there.
Okay. So I think my suggestion to you is to develop data set. That's very
Okay sir.
important. Develop the data set, that would greatly help.
So can I take your help in this journey?
Of course, I'd be happy to do that.
So because so many things are cleared, I got the picture that just wearing the cap, getting alpha, beta, theta like that. It is not that equal. So
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm a good meditator, I'm following PMC meditations and
Hmm.
taking suggestion from Shreyas Jaga from Mumbai. So
Great.
he suggested go for this higher studies. Now the students have so many mental disturbance.
Yes, yes, yes. It's true.
Uh,
Large percentage of young guys, they are suffering with mental problem. They don't
sir, I
express,
need
but they are having
yes.
some kind of mental problem.
So sir,
Okay,
I think 80% they have the mental
ma'am, we can
problems.
discuss probably afterwards this all these things. Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
I
So
need sir's
we have
mail ID
I'll do
and
it.
contact number.
You can get
I'll,
it from Dr. Vimal. Thank you.
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So in the
I think
so
I
future, I
can
will
take
contact you, sir.
only one last question. I'm getting so many calls for the meeting. So I have a request
Okay.
if I can only do one question. Thank you.
yes, yes. So, ma'am, I'll give you I'll share you the link of Professor Jihar Sinha, and then you can maybe collaborate afterwards.
Yes, yes.
A very
मैं sir के बात कर लूंगी.
Hmm.
okay. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much. My name is Dr. Vikas Kumar, and I was hearing your talk. It was really wonderful to hear your talk, actually. So I have just one question. If you can please put your thoughts on that. Actually, from long ago, I was just wondering. Yoga is actually proven to be a wonderful exercise, in fact, to treat the mental illness. And nowadays in students, this depression thing, and it's very very common
Hmm,
that
hmm,
we are
hmm.
in fact like a couple of days before also, like we heard a few cases in our university, in everywhere is what we're hearing. uh, can you please guide, suggest a roadmap where we can monitor or quantify somehow in some way how this mental depression can be linked with the yoga, maybe using the brain signal that you are talking about, a general pathway if you can
Yeah,
quickly
yeah, great. It's a very interesting question. Yoga has all the power to address the mental depression problem. There are already literatures. I got one collaboration from Sweden. Professor Christopher, he wanted to do research in the area of yoga for the sustainable healthcare. But your question is very right. This is a genuine problem. And if you talk with the young students, if you create some awareness program, talk about yoga, they'll do it for reels only, not real life. They'll create reels to put on Instagram. But what is important for me, and that is the roadmap for me, and it has started already, working. Just bring out scientific evidence, scientific result, and involve the students in those scientific findings. Just use some students from the student community, involve them in research findings, which is AI based or technology based findings of impact of yoga in either reducing the stress or improving the sleep quality. So these young minds will only believe in scientific findings, and if this is spread, across the students, they will understand the importance and they will start practicing. Until and unless they start practicing, they'll only do for reels, then it won't leave any impact. So my suggestion is involve the students in this research, spread this awareness through scientific observations, results, and findings. It will definitely have the great impact in mental health care.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Professor.
So, thank you so much, sir. Uh, Definitely, we will have you in future in person. And your talk, we are just discussing that your talk can be delivered
to all the branches, not only for
Yes.
electronics.
It's
So
interdisciplinary area.
yes, so we'll plan, sir, sometimes, and we'll have a big gathering there. So please, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here. Right, whenever possible, kindly share me the recording so that I learn from myself that what mistake I did. So send me the recording whenever possible and send some pictures. Thank you so much.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you.